we make movies for?
All you have to do is think about the one person you want to show the movie to.
Hello, and welcome to another bonus cast from the Bomb Squad. I am your host, Tim M. Sullivan, and with me I have...
Ethan Hawker.
Tanner Richard Kraft.
And we have a returning guest.
Angie Hachiman.
Thank you for coming on to the show once again.
Always glad to be here.
All right. And today we are talking about the recent anime film released by G-Kids, Pompo the Cinephile.
Pompo the Cinephile?
Wait.
I thought this was Spanish class.
Get out.
Oh, we're talking about the Jordan Peele movie?
Yeah, we're talking about Nope. Anyway, so this is a movie produced by a new anime studio called Clap. It was directed by Takayuki Hirao, who he's got a few directing credits under his belt. He did a couple of the Gardens of Sinners movies. He directed the Junji Ito film Gyo Tokyo Fish Attack. He did a movie called Magical Sisters, Yo-Yo, and Nene. He directed all of the episodes of a series called Futakoi Alternative. And he, like a lot of anime directors, he's just done like a bunch of single episode directing credits on a couple titles, including Paranoia Agent, Death Note, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, and Attack on Titan. And art direction, we have two art directors. One of them is Miyu Miyamoto, who they don't seem to have a whole lot of like art direction credits, but they do have a few background artist credits, one of which I want to name, which is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. I thought that was funny.
Hell yeah. Good movie.
Scooby-Doo
I
and
have
the
to
Cyber
reference
Chase?
Scooby-Doo. I have to reference Scooby-Doo while Angie's on the
Cyber
pod.
Chase bad. That's my take.
Wrong.
You're wrong. Got him.
And there's also another art direction credit, art director, Takafumi Mishima, who has a couple art directing credits, including the series Excel World, which was plagiarized by Elon Musk for his Neuralink technology. Just had to bring that up too. Anyway, so yeah, the movie has a lot of credits from people who are relatively fresh, at least in their particular credits. So it was just kind of interesting to see something that came together from them. And Angie has read the manga, I believe, so they have a little more to say about that than I do. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I did read the manga. I don't know exactly how much I want to talk about right now, because I might just talk about a little bit like when I'm going over my thoughts, because a lot of my thoughts have to do with kind of some comparisons to the manga. Not necessarily, bad, but it just kind of put into perspective my own thoughts after I watched the movie and then read the manga. So I think I'll talk about it at that time.
Okay. So yeah, then let's just go into our first question, which what was our expectations going in? We will start with Tanner.
I remember the day was April Day. What was it? April 17th? No, April 20...
He remembers that there was a day.
It was a day in April, and I was messaging the group chat, guys, I really want to see the Northman. Can someone give me a ride? Everyone's like, no, man, we can't. And I was like, oh, that's okay. Then Ethan's like, you can see Pompo the Cinephile. And I said, what's that? And he said, anime. And I said, okay. And I bought a ticket. I knew nothing about literally nothing about the movie. I was just like, I want to watch something. I need to watch something today. If it ain't going to be Nordic men getting naked and fighting, it's going to be anime, I guess. Those are pretty equivalent things.
Yeah, I love Vinland Saga. It's great.
I pretend I understand.
True. Ethan, expectations going in.
Yeah, I didn't know a ton about this one outside of seeing previews and like the day before it screened. I got a I received a screener for it. Well, no, I received a review screener like literally a few hours before it was supposed to show, and I was like, I'll just watch it on the big screen at this point, instead of previewing it at home. But yeah, other than that, and the trailer, like I didn't even realize that this was adapted from a manga, and like apparently a pretty accessible manga. I saw the first volume at Barnes and Noble of all places, which is less surprising. But I always forget that they have manga again, that it's no longer the 2008 in the manga crash. But no, I remember thinking it looked pretty cute, and I wasn't expecting anything huge from it. Sort of like a lot of those recent anime films where it was something kind of cutesy and stylish and fun, but maybe not a whole lot of substance. Whether or not I was wrong or right about that, well, we'll talk about that. But yeah, that's about what I was thinking going into it.
All right. Angie, what were your expectations?
Well, I tried my best to kind of I like to go into movies without any expectations because I think I enjoy them a little bit better if I don't set any like high standards. So I was kind of trying to avoid some of the like the promotional stuff because when G Kids gets into marketing their stuff, they go pretty hard. So I was kind of avoiding some of the clips and stuff that they were posting, but I saw a little bit of like the art style and everything, and based on like the art style and then some of the trailers that I did end up seeing, I thought it was gonna be kind of cute and funny, especially with how they were like marketing it in the trailers. I went to go see Princess Mononoke for the 25th anniversary screening, and of course that's also distributed by G Kids. So I was expecting a Pompo trailer to play in front of that, and they almost got me there for a second because the movie has like a movie within the movie. So they actually kind of made it seem like they were advertising something different, and then of course at the end it's a Pompo trailer, and I just thought that was kind of clever and funny. So my expectations were really just that it was going to kind of be like a fun, cute comedy, and that's kind of what I expected going in, based on what I've seen and kind of the art style.
All right. All right. So yeah, I guess my expectations going in, I remember seeing like the teaser for it a couple months ago. I want to say in like January or maybe like December or something. And I remember, yeah, thinking it looked like it would be a fun movie, especially just like as someone who is a filmmaker who works in film. I thought that it would be a neat movie to watch, just with that experience going in, just to see something that kind of portrays my interests and my passion of like working in film, watching film. So yeah, I thought it would be a fun one to watch, and I was excited for it when it would eventually come out. So now that we've talked about our expectations, let's talk about our thoughts on the movie, and we will start with Angie.
All right. So I guess it's kind of complicated, I guess, because like I said, when I first I didn't know. I tried to avoid reading the manga before I went into the movie because, like I said, I just wanted to kind of go in fresh. And I think you enjoy animes and movies better when you don't know the source material. So I like to go back to it afterwards. So when I went and I actually read the manga, like right after I had watched the movie, I went home and read the manga. I was actually surprised at how much of the movie, how much was actually added to the movie in comparison to the manga. So the manga is essentially like a slice of life story where there is no plot, there's no stakes, there's no tension. It really just kind of shows these characters, they do a thing and then it's over. There's kind of no story to it. So what I really appreciate about the movie was that they kind of attributed meaning to kind of the events that were happening. And I really enjoyed how everything kind of connected together and kind of came full circle at the end. So I think they were really able to kind of expand upon like this very simple, like basic story and kind of make it into something bigger. And something that felt more meaningful. There was a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed that the movie did. And I guess can talk more about that when we talk about things later. But yeah, I enjoyed it. They really did kind of get some good like philosophies on movies in there. Some good ideas and things that kind of felt creative. There was some nice animation and stuff too. Like I wasn't expecting so much out of like the art style because, like I said, it looked kind of cute and funny. So I wasn't expecting something a little that felt a little bit more serious, I guess. Um, I hope that covers it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good to me. Awesome. Now we'll go to Ethan. What were your thoughts?
You could read my thoughts at zeekfilm.org.
Boo! Boo this man!
No. I wrote a review of it for Zeke Film, in case mentioning a screener wasn't obvious. And
I thought you just hacked. You
sort of-
hacked G Kids database and got the screener, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. No, I did
You
not do
committed
that.
cybercrime.
If any G Kids PR reps are listening to this, Tanner is a liar. He's well known for lying. I have several people who can back me up on this.
Name one.
Many people are saying
Please
this.
continue to send me screeners.
Send me them too.
Yeah, do not send him them. He will misuse them. He'll mislay them. He'll tear them to pieces.
Mislay them? They're digital files.
I
Ethan.
know. That's why I'm astonished.
How the
you can
hell am
do
I
it.
going to rip up a digital file?
I don't know.
Oh boy, a hard drive! I just take a fucking bite out of it.
I could see you doing that. Like you act like that's.
No, I
Stealing
could
content.
do that. But they're not going to send it in a hard drive. It's going to be digital ones and zeros. Nom nom nom. Oh shit.
It's just like Digimon the movie with Diamora.
Not
and
again!
The data. There we go. We got there. But no, my thoughts are sort of just my review in microcosm. They haven't really changed a whole lot since then. I would describe the film as not so much a love letter to filmmaking, but like a very sincerely written like love note passed in class. Like, do you like me? Yes, no. It's like appealing and it's made with like a lot of emotional rawness maybe, but not like a developed understanding of things quite so much. Like its themes are a little messy. It's messy overall. But it's so sugary sweet and sincere in what it's trying to do. It's hard to dislike it. I think it especially gets by, like the narrative is a little messy, but it gets by on the strength of that cast, which is likely, that kind of makes me want to check out the manga, because I feel like they probably get a bit more time to breathe in sort of a decompressed slice of life narrative, because I like basically everyone. I was expecting for the Marlon Brando analog, who has a name that's very close to Marlon Brando. I was expecting him to be a point of conflict in the film, and he really wasn't. It's just like everyone's fun and cool for the most part.
Yeah.
Lily is a lot of fun, I would say, and of course, Pompo is sort of the standout character, just in terms of like the energy she brings on screen, and the way she's animated. She's animated really loosely, particularly like even in the promotional art, like the way her digits are drawn and stuff is super loose, and it's clear that the animators are having a lot of fun with all the moving parts on her, like her twin tails, the way those like move in and out of perspective and like really exaggerated scale and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's just a very very fun movie. Like not the best thing in the world, but it's so sincere and sweet. It's hard to not have fun with, at the very least. And I really want to look into the dub, because the dub seems like it'll add a lot even more energy to it. I feel like the cast, based on what I've seen in the trailers for that, are really hamming it up, and that fits the material very well.
Nice. Yeah, I do want to check out the dub as well, because I feel like that's probably interesting if nothing
Mhm.
else. But yeah, Tanner, tell us your thoughts on the movie. I remember seeing your reaction at the end, and I want to hear you say your thoughts on this one.
You saw me watching it?
I was there.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know you were looking. How
I was literally directly behind
how
you, and
visibly
I
did I
heard.
emote?
Tanner, you emote very visibly.
No, I don't.
I could hear you laughing at various scenes, even though I was like a row ahead of you, a row in front, but row
Oh, so
behind
first
you.
you're behind me, now you're ahead of me? The
I,
story doesn't add up, Tim.
I'm omnipresent. I'm everywhere.
Where
and
were you
everywhere.
this night at this time?
Not go-
Your mom.
I heard you making noises from like several rows ahead of you.
How do you know it was me?
Because you sound like you, Tanner. There's no mistaking you for
That
anyone
sounds
else.
deeply insulting.
Well, you have a very distinct sound.
I know, but the way you said it.
You sound like you.
So, Tanner, someday you're gonna walk into a gas station. And someone's gonna be like, "Hey, you sound like that Tanner Richard Kraft guy from YouTube."
I'm gonna jump off a building because I've been recognized in public. So as Tim alluded to the fact that I had very visible emotions, I hated this movie. I thought it was too saccharine and sweet.
Nani?
And I'm fucking with y'all! You just got punked. Ashton Kutcher. How do you say his name?
Kutcher.
Kutcher. Is that right?
Quattro Bagina.
This is a disaster. I'm so sorry. Yeah, God, where to start with this movie? I freaking loved this movie, because I thought the animation was really fun. I thought the characters were really fun. I kind of enjoyed how sincerely melodramatic it was, but also being a little on the nose at the same time. It was a balancing act, and so on and so forth. I was later told everything I like about this movie is apparently just all anime. Ethan and Tim kept just iterating this. Everything I like about this movie is just anime in general. But I refuse to watch it on a deeper level because I'm a stubborn person. But no, this movie in particular is really great. Because, I went to film school, which was a mistake. And this movie reminds me of these mistakes. At the same time, though, it didn't actually remind me of any mistakes because I'm perfect and I make no mistakes. What am I saying? Movie good. Movie very, very good. Movie great. Tim, yeah, get the clapping. I'm a big fan of it. I like the movie within the movie kind of framing device, and I really love in the second half of the movie where the movie it's not even like subtext. It's explicit in the text. How the movie he's making is such a parallel to his actual life. I really like that. I like the commentary on finding the thing that drives you, your muse. I love the ending gag. I don't know if anyone else is going to bring it up, so I'm just going to say this. I love that the gag is, what do you like most about your movie? It's 90 minutes long. Cut to credits. I really want to believe the movie itself is 90 minutes long before that point, because it's 93 minutes, including credits. So I think it might actually hit it, which would be beautiful. But yeah, in general, I like the style of the animation. I love the world of how do I say it? Nyan Wood?
Nollywood.
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 Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood.
There you go.
Wait, that's kind of funny.
No, it's not.
Wait,
Just say Meowlywood.
Nollywood.
Yeah.
If it makes
That's
it
easy.
easier.
Nollywood.
There you go.
I love the way that world looks. It looks like L.A., but less ugly. And by that, hold on, that sounds problematic. You can keep this in, but I'm going to rephrase that. By less ugly, I mean shinier. It just everything looks
There
shiny.
you go.
And when things are shiny, I'm happy because I'm a toddler and keys jangling entertains me. But no, I really love how wholesome it was. I love how sweet it was. I think the conflict is it's there, obviously. But I enjoy sort of how low key it was. It's pretty low stakes, all things considered. And as someone who's been watching a lot of, you have to save not just this universe, but all of the universes lately, it's sort of a nice contrast. But no, it's
Yeah.
a really fun movie. It's gorgeously animated. Pokes a lot of fun at the movie industry, but it's also pretty faithful to how, not maybe pretty faithful, but kind of faithful to how real live action movies are made. I can tell that the directors did their research. And there's one scene I want to bring up, but we have a question about favorite scenes, so I'll bring it up then.
All right.
Tim, you back
Very
to the...
good. Very good. Very cool, Tanner. Thank you. Yeah. I guess my thoughts overall. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciated it. Like as like Tanner was saying, someone who's worked in film, who's been a film student. I really like the idea of just like how naive the main character is going into this big project. I can't even remember the main character's name because he's not Pompo, and that's the title of the movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed just like him going into this project head first and having minimal experience in the industry. He's just been a PA up to this point, but he watches a lot of movies, and it definitely like reflected just like how naive like first time directors typically are. Like they have all these things they want to do, and they don't realize just how hard it's going to be to actually do them. Like there's an industry term, killing your babies, which is when you have a lot of things you want in the final cut, but you can't keep them all in. You have to kill your babies. Everything's your baby, but you can't have them all. And a lot of this movie, particularly the scenes where he's editing, is like really showcasing that really well. It's like he has all these things that he really wants to keep in the movie to make this the movie that he wants to tell, but he has to keep it under a certain time. He has to cut all this stuff out, and he's like, I really want it, but he has to cut it. And that's definitely a reality of like filmmaking in general. Is like you have to come to terms with not everything you want in the cut is going to make the cut, and that's a hard lesson to learn. But I think that this story reflects that really well. Like it really captures how difficult it is to do that. And another scene that I really loved was when he comes begging to Pompo to shoot one more scene, and you're thinking it's just gonna be like this great wholesome moment, like yeah, he's gonna do it, and then she lays down the law immediately. She's just like, do you realize what you are asking? We are going to have to call back everyone who was busy with other projects. Do you have any idea the gravity of what you are asking right now? And he's just like, pretty please? And they get it done. Which is a lot of... There's a lot to like about it, because it's celebratory, but it's also like very honest about the difficulty that comes with like actually working in the industry, because like making a movie is not fucking easy, and this guy learns that, and like if he had bags under his eyes at the beginning of the movie, oh boy, when he's accepting his award at the end, oh man, yeah, he's in the real world now. Yeah, overall had a lot of fun with it. Think it had a lot to offer, as both a celebration and as sort of an honest look of what the industry is like. Also, just like another quick thing, like we mentioned that they called it Nollywood, and I liked how that was just kind of a thing that they worked in a bunch of times. Like if you look at the camera they're using, it said Yari Nyalexa, which I thought was really fun. That was a good bit. I love that. Yeah, just a lot of fun little subtle bits like that were fun. Yeah, overall, good movie. So now let's talk about our favorite scenes. we will start with Ethan.
But, God, favorite scenes. That's the thing, is I kind of view the film as a whole, but I guess, I'm gonna have to
Put him on the spot.
I'm gonna have to stick with probably not everyone's, but I like Lily's introduction and the time we spend with her. It tricks me into thinking that she'll be more involved with the rest of the movie, which is not good. But I like Lily as a character a lot, because I think she has a lot of Jean, like the primary lead's attributes. In that, you know, she's sort of a fish out of water in this situation in a lot of ways, but she's incredibly passionate about her work, and she doesn't like whine so much, or like Jean has this like response to things where he's a little flat to begin with. Like I don't think like he really comes into his own as a character until he starts editing the film proper, and I think he does there, but I just think it takes a while to get there. Whereas Lily, like immediately you get an understanding of like she'll do anything to pursue her job. Getting to see her like wish her grandma well and all the jobs she does in Yollywood before training to become an actress. That whole segment, that sequence, maybe more than scene, is probably my favorite bit in the film, because we also get some good bits with Pompo and Jean as well, and how those three play off each other, because they're fun characters.
Nice. All right, Angie, favorite scene.
Well, I think I'm gonna kind of go off what I was saying a little bit earlier about how things kind of come together, and I think all those scenes that kind of end up coming back up like later on in the movie are kind of my favorite. Like, for example, I really like when they get out on location to start filming in Europe, and they're talking about how filmmaking's like a team effort. And then when it comes back later, when Gene says he wants to kind of shoot something that's not in the script, and they all kind of start pitching in ideas and how that kind of relates back to what they were saying about it being a team effort. I thought that was a really good bit. And then that scene also comes back later when Gene's editing the film and he has to start cutting stuff. And when he has to cut that scene, it like really hits, because it's just like, because it just felt like such a meaningful moment, even though it had nothing, like it was irrelevant to like the movie as a whole. It still kind of hit that, you know, because I don't know. I just like how it all came together. How that was something that was kind of consistent throughout the movie. So I really liked that. I also liked the conversation between Gene and Pompo about, you know, like lengths of movies, especially since the weekend before I went to see it, I was at like a birthday party, and I overheard some of the guests talking about how they don't like long movies, how like there's movies that are over 2 hours and they hate it and everything. And I just thought that Pompo was really kind of speaking for the like the casual movie audiences, whereas like people who really love films, they don't care about the length, but kind of the casual viewers, they don't really like long movies. So I thought that was kind of a nice like moment, and especially since it comes back like at the very end, that it's just so poetic. Like when Gene's like, the best part about the movie is that it was 90 minutes and they stop right there. Just, that's absolutely great. I also forgot to mention earlier, but my favorite character is actually Alan, I believe that's his name. And he's a totally like added character. He was never in the manga. But I just love characters like that, where he was kind of like a big thing, like a popular kid in high school, but then he's like a nobody in the real world. And then I also kind of liked kind of the budding friendship he has with Jean. Like I love friendship, and I just like to imagine that they became best friends after the movie concluded. I'm so sad he's not actually in the manga, but I did like the bits with Alan, even the bit where he's trying to convince his the higher ups at his bank to invest in Gene's movie, and that was kind of corny, but I also kind of liked it too. There had to be some sort of like climax or tension to the movie. Like I said, there was kind of none of that in the manga. So yeah, really as a, like a whole, like it all kind of comes together and everything kind of is kind of my favorite in a way. But those few bits that I mentioned in specifically were definitely ones that kind of stood out to me and find really memorable.
Nice. All right, Tanner, favorite scene.
Here we go. All right. Don't know why I left such a pause. Fuck.
Tanner, favorite scene.
I'm a baby. Gotta love me. So my favorite scene in the movie is basically sort of the climactic scene. It's when Jean. That's the main character's name, right? Jean.
Jean, yes.
Okay.
Jean Star Wars.
Jean Star Wars. Got it. Jean Star Wars. So, when Gene's editing his movie and it all of a sudden turns into a visual metaphor where he gets a fucking like real. What's so funny about that, Ethan?
Sorry.
What's so funny about that?
Sorry. For context for the viewers, Tanner, like once we got out of the movie, I think Tanner said his favorite part of the movie like 5 times in a row. His favorite part of the movie was this bit, and it's a good bit. Like I'm not saying Tanner's wrong. I don't think he's incorrect for being so excited about this because it's an impressive feat of animation. I don't want to devalue his opinion. I just saw this coming and I couldn't hold it together. I'm sorry.
I thought you were laughing that I said visual metaphor, which I remember after I said it the 4th or 5th time, you said, "So Tanner, you like visual metaphors?" I thought that's why you were laughing.
A little bit of both.
It's when he's cutting down the reels of film with like scissors, like a samurai sword, and it's really awesome looking, and there's a pop rock song playing in the background, and he's saying some shit like, "This film is my destiny," and I'm sitting there thinking, this is the greatest scene ever put in a movie, ever. Eat your heart out. Anything in Star Wars, Back to the Future, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Forrest Gump, Truman Show. Eat your heart out, all of it. This is the greatest scene put to screen. And then it ended, so it was too short. But for those few ecstasy... I'm stupid. For those few exciting moments, that was what I was trying to say the whole time, by the way. I was trying to say exciting. I don't know where ecstasy came from.
Ecstasy-inducing
cinema! It was cinema at its finest. Nothing like it. The movies. Vin Diesel, the movies. Yeah, it is, what a picture. Yeah. Basically the entire last bit of the movie, and I really enjoyed that scene a lot. I especially like that it comes on he's only ever able to push through after his friend supports him, which shows the power of friendship, which, as Ethan may say in his review on ZeekFilm.com, www.https://Ethan.
Ethan.com /movie.
Go to Ethan.com to review movie. Ethan will say how the movie's text sort of contradicts itself, which is fair. But I just interpret the movie as Gene being dumb boy and not attributing his success to his friends when he should. In conclusion, more samurai sword fight with reel of film, please.
Awesome.
I have such a way with words.
Yeah. And yeah, so my favorite scene is the same as Tanner's. I also really like the editing scenes because I'm an editor, and seeing that representation of the thing that I do was just such a wild and incredible thing to see. I like the first time you see it when he's editing the like 15-second teaser of the first movie that he's working on. Like the first time I see it, I'm like, this is incredible. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful representation of the thing that I do. And then when he did it the second time when he's working on his own movie, It had this sort of kind of gut wrenching quality to it, where he has to take out these things in his movie that he loves. So it's a little more bittersweet, but it's still like just such a great representation of the thing itself, and the struggles that come with it. What makes it beautiful, and what also makes it hard. And it's just really cool to see too. It's just such a great like action sequence. It's just there's a lot to love about it, and I think it's easily the part that sticks out in my mind the most about the movie. Just there's such a great bit there. It's so good that Tanner even said he liked it more than Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Just the scene. Just the scene.
Just the scene.
And also, I don't stand by that. I was just saying that's what I was thinking at the time.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a great scene. As are all the scenes that were mentioned. A lot of good scenes in the movie. So now for our final question. I was kind of struggling to come up with a fourth question because, like, as much as I like the movie, I don't know. There's not quite as much to go into with it as there are for like a lot of the other movies we've talked about. So I decided to go with a more creative final question, which was, did this movie inspire you creatively? We'll start with Tanner. Thank you, Tanner. Very cool.
No. Sorry. I really do love the movie, but I don't get inspired by other movies usually. My sources of inspiration usually comes from the dumbest fucking things. I'll be looking at a rock funny, and then suddenly an idea pops in my head. Or Ethan will say, "You're stupid, Tanner," and I'm like, "That gives me an idea." Or some classic other Ethan insult. Or sorry, Ethan, were you gonna say something? In conclusion, and that's not a knock against the movie. That's just how I operate as a creative person.
That's fair.
I don't get inspiration from other pieces of art, usually, at least not the same medium. I could be playing a video game and maybe an idea will pop in my head, or I could be reading poetry and maybe an idea will pop into my head. Traditionally, I don't get ideas from watching movies because, to be quite frankly honest, I turn my brain off a little bit. It is the only way I can enjoy movies. Yeah. Otherwise, I will nitpick shit.
That again, fair.
Good question though, Tim. I love it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Tanner. Very cool. All right, Ethan, as a illustrator / animator, did you feel inspired watching this movie at all?
A little bit, actually. Like, I feel like the overall messaging and that sort of thing, like, it didn't quite resonate with me. But the bit about editing, because while I haven't done it in a while, like my emphasis in the film program when we were at Webster was video editing, and I do like it, despite all evidence to the contrary.
You could do an emphasis?
They weren't official, but like I took all the courses required for it. But yeah, like the stuff with the editing, I feel like they really get that down, because that's something that, animators are going to get a bit more than like the shooting on location stuff.
Yeah,
and I think that works. And while it, but like in terms of stuff that inspires me, like as an artist, or in terms of like seeing illustrations and that sort of thing, and be like, oh, I want to do that, or that sort of thing. Again, like it's got to be the animation on like Pompo and Lily, not even the really extravagant stuff, which is it's great, like Sakuga style animation, but like it's all those little touches with Pompo and the way like she's exaggerated in perspective, that's like not quite but almost like Yoshinori Kaneda, or that sort of like Yo Yoshinari, the Kill la Kill artist. Like it's not quite that, but like I like it for just like expressive character animation and that sort of thing. And I feel like Pompo and Lily sort of are the ones that really get to be more expressive in that way. They're always sort of very fun to see when they're on screen. But yeah, so there are moments, there are nuggets in there, but I feel like maybe not the overall package. Like it's the kind of thing where I'm like, I want to do that thing. Okay, real neat.
Fair enough.
Home.
True. Angie, as someone who likes to do some writing and some drawing, did this movie inspire you all as a creative?
Oh, I hate to be boring, but like this one particularly, no. And I don't know if it's because it's about sort of it focuses on like a medium that I'm not familiar with. Like I don't do filmmaking, and a lot of the movie kind of focused on the actual filming and like the editing part of it, rather than like the writing and of the story itself. So maybe that's like something that I couldn't like personally connect to. Um, but I also kind of agree with like Tanner, where it's sort of random stuff that inspires you. Like it just doesn't come from like watching stuff in particular. Like maybe I might watch something and then something random will just spark an idea, like or anything. But it's not really like related to what it is that I'm watching or doing. But yeah, I think inspiration kind of comes more randomly for me rather than something that comes from like watching something, kind of thinking about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All fair answers. I would say I felt a little inspired as a creative watching it. Like, it shows the hardships of filmmaking, but it also like shows sort of the reward, which I think it's something that like you kind of have to take the good with the bad, and that's just true of any walk of life. And the filmmaking is definitely no exception. Like there's a lot of difficulty that comes with it, but if at the end of it you come out with something that you can honestly say you're proud of, I think that that's always a rewarding feeling. And like yeah, at the end he's just kind of exhausted and beat from having just like been churned through the filmmaking machine and having to make his 90-minute movie. But I think ultimately at the end, like he made a movie and he ultimately is proud of it. And so I think that's just like something that's really neat to see, and makes me want to make stuff again, because I've been working on stuff for the channel, but I'd also like to get back to going on sets and stuff. And this definitely like sparks my excitement of like working on more like film type projects, which we have a couple in the pipeline, and I'm excited to get started on those pretty soon.
We are shooting something this Wednesday as we're recording it. It's top secret.
It's true. Stay tuned, folks. You will see. So yeah, I guess that basically wraps up the questions. Let's do some final thoughts. We'll start with Tanner.
Sorry, I fucking zoned out. I just had an idea pop into my head. I'm not even kidding. I was staring at this bottle of ibuprofen, and an idea popped into my head. I'm not fucking kidding.
There we go. We got it right in the podcast.
Dumb as shit. Okay. I think this is a really good movie. I think if you're someone who maybe typically doesn't really watch anime, but will appreciate it sometimes, but watches a lot of live action movies, like me, I think you could appreciate this on a lot of levels, because I think it is very respectful of the live action medium and treats them as equals, unlike Ethan, who thinks animation is always superior.
Yes.
No!
All right, awesome. Ethan, final thoughts.
You said that so sarcastically.
Animation is always superior to no, I don't actually believe that, to be clear. It's just mostly true. No, it's purely preference. They're similar, but similar art forms that require at times slightly different skill sets. But I dug it. Like I don't think it was quite the revelation that it was for Tanner, seemingly. But I had a fun time. I basically got exactly out of it that I was expecting. Kind of a weaker core narrative, some fun ideas, some good animation, and a really fun cast. And some slick animation. Good tunes too. Actually, I don't think we commented on it so much, but there's a good soundtrack here.
Yeah.
Like
It's a lot of pop rock,
Good music.
yeah.
which objectively rules.
Yeah, some J-rock stuff in there. That's
Yeah, Tanner, you're gonna love anime.
yeah, like it's all that. Like you realize how J-rock, like that's a standard anime score.
Listen,
right
guys,
there.
everything you're saying is doing the opposite effect of what you wanted to do. I am going to seek out less anime, so every anime I do watch is still special.
Well, then why don't you just stop watching movies? Because then every movie you watch will be special.
Every movie is special.
Exactly.
Hey,
So-
wait a minute!
We got him.
I'm not kidding. You actually just fucked me up there, man. I don't know why I didn't think of it that way before.
In the immortal words of Pompo the Cinephile, movies rock. And this movie's pretty good.
Movies rock, baby.
Woo! Movies are Tanner's dad. Angie, final thoughts.
I'm sorry, Angie, go.
All right. My final thoughts are that the movie is pretty fun. Like, I mean, I don't think it's my favorite, but to be fair, I've seen quite a bit of anime movies, so it's I guess it's kind of difficult to make it to the top, compared to all the ones that I've seen. But I actually had a really good time watching this, and I think they have a lot of like ideas and a lot of strengths to it. And so I think it's really fun and enjoyable, and I thought it was kind of cute, and they were able to expand upon like a very simple story in the manga and make it in something a little bit more meaningful, and I really enjoyed that.
Nice. Yeah. Overall, final thoughts. I had a lot of fun with it. Out of the anime movies I've seen in the last couple of months, like the newer releases, but I might not like it quite as much as Poopelle of Chimney Town. I ended up really enjoying that and not expecting to really get much of anything out of it. But I put this pretty close under it. But both very fun movies. And this as someone who is a fan of anime and who works in film and watches a lot of movies, just a real fun watch, and I definitely would recommend checking it out as soon as the G-Kids release comes out. I think they've already announced the Blu-ray. Not exactly sure when.
I think it's June 12th, I want to say.
Okay, so that's going pretty soon.
I'm gonna pre-order.
Hell yeah. Tanner buys anime movie. We did it.
Ethan would be so proud if only he was still alive.
God, I wish.
It's sad. It's sad that Ethan died of ligma.
Who the hell's Ethan?
Steve Jobs.
No!
Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Angie, thank you for coming on to the show once again. Do you have anything you would like to promote?
Nothing for myself, but I guess for anyone listening, if they're interested in going to see like more anime movies in theaters, there's a few set to come out over the summer. If anyone's interested, there's Fortune Favors Lady Nikako and The Deer King coming out in July. And then I believe Summer Ghost is supposed to come out sometime during the summer. I don't know when. They said it's supposed to have a summer release. So there's 3 whole new anime movies coming to theaters in the next few months. So I think a lot of people don't know much about like new upcoming anime movies. So I thought I'd give those a shout out for anyone listening who's interested.
Nice. All right, so that is going to do it for us today. Thank you for listening to our podcast. If you are listening on any of the audio platforms, feel free to leave a review. It may or may not give us a boost in the algorithms. We're not entirely sure how that works.
I keep finding conflicting information. I genuinely don't know anymore.
Yeah, and I don't pretend to understand at all. I just parrot what Tanner
I just
says.
work here.
Yeah, true. And if you are watching this on YouTube, thank you for enjoying our visualizer. Feel free to leave a comment below and let us know, what do you think of Pompo the Cinephile? Do you like movies? Do you have a favorite character? Let us know. And while you're there, feel free to give us a like if you liked the podcast, and give us a subscribe. Give us a subscribe,
My man!
if you want to listen to me mispronounce the word subscribe
Give me a subscribe.
more than once.
Give me a subscribe.
And then hit the bell icon so that you get notifications every time we upload one of these things. Yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, this podcast is great because it's under an hour. Farewell.
I just slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."